Wow, what a game. It's amazing job by our guys. So proud of them, how they fought. Adversity continues to hit this team. Second weather delay in 3 weeks, and actually, I think last week too, so we may be 3 for 3. But just the way those guys locked in and came out and played a tough opponent. We play a rivalry game. The emotions are high. You got to account for all the crazy stuff that happens during rivalry games. And obviously, we didn't play our best first half. They kind of had their way and played their game. And that was the message at halftime. After 30 minutes, they played their game. Let's come out the second half and play our game, which is hard-nosed, smash-mouth football. And we did that. Obviously, KJ, I think, had 30 yards at the half and ended with 170 over 170. And so just being able to run the football, establish the run, defense being able to get them off the field on third downs, was able to put the game away. Obviously, got some things to clean up. 2 weeks in a row, got a punt block. Unacceptable, can't happen, so we definitely got to go back to the drawing board and fix that. Had a big return by Saquon, which was good to see. He was overdue. But again, we'll celebrate it tonight. We'll play the next play mentality, so now it's 24-hour rule, celebrate it, come back to market, ready to go back to work, because now conference starts. And Delaware is up next and had a big win tonight against UConn. So we know they won't be a pushover, so the things that we have to clean up, we got to work extremely hard to clean those things up this week. But again, excited for the guys, proud of them. Guys like Anthony Gator and Frank Ponce, the senior class who had never beaten those guys. Scott Carr, AD, Jeanette, our president, just, Panther Nation, just really excited for everybody who was able to enjoy this win. And that's part of the reason why we do it. So, again, happy for the guys.
What was the message in the second half, during halftime going into that second half, because you guys just came out exploding after that?
Yeah, that was the message. Play our game. We played it. We said it was going to be a finesse versus physicality. In the first half, they were able to play finesse, play with tempo, spread the ball around, hit some big plays in the passing game. Was even able to run the ball a little bit. We weren't tackling, diving at the ground, and tackling high. Just poor fundamentals. And so we really challenged our guys defensively to get back to how we coach football. Tackling on the thigh board, near shoulder, near leg. Offensively, communicating in the run game. Just doing the things that allow us to run the football effectively. And once we get the ground game going, you can see we're hard to defend on offense. And that's the staple of this unit. KJ Owens had a phenomenal game. So again, we got to continue to establish the run and then make timely plays in the passing game. I thought McGuire Anderson had an amazing game out wide. Made some big plays for us, and he's really growing into his role, special teams wise and as a receiver. So, but again, the message is just simple: just play our game. And when we play our game, we're a hard football team to beat. And I thought the second half, aside from putting the ball on the ground, thankfully we didn't lose any. Aside from the low snap, got to clean that part up. But again, rivalry game. We didn't reach the ball out all season, all training camp. We get in a rivalry game, we reach the ball out for the goal line on 2 different occasions. So, Lights and KJ, they'll pay for that tomorrow. But tonight we'll let them celebrate.
3 different interceptions from 3 different guys, obviously. Just what you see on those plays, obviously the group, the big one at the end.
Yeah, that we felt that if we put pressure on the quarterback, that he would give us some 50-50 balls. We were able to come up with them. Mister had a huge interception right before halftime. Of course, Josiah put the game away at the end. So again, I talked to the guys about making sure that when we had those opportunities to capitalize on them. Make the play, take your time, catch the football, and they did that. So created some turnovers. We were able to capitalize on those turnovers. And so it was a total team effort. That's what good football teams do. They don't only take the ball away, the offense comes out and puts points on the board. And so we play complementary football in that regard.
What was it about those first 3 drives out of half offensively that worked so well for you guys?
We ran the ball. Pretty simple. We were able to run the ball. And when you run the football, it opens up everything else. Again, we were able to get behind them. They kind of started getting closer to the line of scrimmage. Those defensive ends started really crashing, trying to take away the run game. We were able to break contain a few times. But again, just being able to hand the ball off on first down and get 6-7 yards. KJ averaged 9 yards a carry. And so we were able to start playing with tempo once we were able to get the ball moving forward. So that first few drives, we were able to really establish the tempo. Didn't think they adjusted well to it. We were able to hit some big plays and big touchdown catch there by Alex Perry, down on the first touchdown come out of halftime, and they were able to punch it in from the ground the last 2 times. So again, happy for those guys able to come out of halftime. Middle late, we talk about that all the time. Last 4 of the first half, first 4 of the second half, and we ran away with that pretty well.
Talk. This offense, it feels like you guys kind of in a sense do a little bit of backwards thing where it's like the foundation's run game, then you use the passing game also to open up that run game. How important was it to have P1 make a lot of really big time throws to really keep the chance moving and allow you guys to really keep that offensive identity throughout the game?
Yeah, we just tell Lights to drive the car, and for him to have to be doing anything outside of his ability. He was able to extend plays tonight, which is something that he's more than capable of doing. He's shown that throughout his career. And that's what he has to be able to do. Keep plays alive, throw the ball on time, get it out to our playmakers out wide. And he's able to do that. So we made good decisions with the ball, didn't turn it over. One no snap, obviously, but if we can protect the football and run the football, especially when you go against a team that wants to snap the ball a bunch. They're prolific offense. You don't want to give them extra opportunities. So if we can possess the ball, it gives us a greater chance to win. And second half, we were able to possess the ball and keep that high-powered offense off the field.
Talk about keeping your the team's emotions in check, especially making sure the team doesn't retaliate to what FAU did, and just capitalizing on those unsportsmanlike penalties that the Owls committed. Just talk about keeping the Panthers in check emotionally, even during a rivalry game like this.
Yeah, of course, fundamentals is our second F. That fundamentals, that word talks about discipline. Just being able to do the little things right. It's an emotional game, and we talked to them in pregame about controlled aggression. We want to be physical, we want to be aggressive, but we want to do it within the rules of the game. So don't do anything after the whistle. They're going to try to bait you into a fight. We got to be smart in that regard. And I thought the guys did a great job with that. I don't recall us getting any personal fouls or unsportsmanlike. And in rivalry games, you typically see that. So proud of the guys for how they responded, because we're going to need that moving forward. Right now, 2-1, we're not sneaking up on anybody. Everybody is going to give us their best shot. So we have to be mentally and physically prepared to come out every week and play our best game.
Keenwan finally gets his first passing touchdown. Just talk about how excited you are to see him get that monkey off his back and how the offense can evolve now.
Yeah, definitely glad to see him get that. AP as well. I told the guys, challenged the guys in pregame that the receivers were overdue. We've been running the ball extremely well the first 2 weeks. It was about time for us to break out in the passing game, and was glad to see Keenwan find AP on that, hit McGuire on the big post ball there in the second half, and made some big time throws down the field. So he can throw the football. We're talented out wide. We just had to work really hard this week to get in sync, and I thought those guys did that. So protection was great, and when he can sit in there and feel comfortable, he's shown over the last 3 years that he can throw the football.
You kind of alluded to it. Just what did you see with the block punt there?
Just miscommunication. We got to clean that up. Again, that's the second week in a row that's been. It's not schematic. It's communication. But teams now see blood in the water, and they're gonna come after it. So we definitely got to make sure we fix that. Coach Gilstrap, our special teams coordinator, he's done this before, and I think it's the first time he's gotten punts blocked. So we'll get back to the drawing board tomorrow and figure out what the issues are and get them fixed. But that's what good coaches do. They fix the problems. It's much easier to fix them after a win. And the guys take pride in that. Trey is one of the best punters in America. We got to protect him. And again, getting 2 punts blocked in 2 weeks is unacceptable. That's not our standard, and we'll definitely make sure we get that fixed.
You're too.
The secondary. Can I just talk about how you felt they did against, of all the motions, all the different things that FA was trying to hold or throw against them, and then kind of how they battled and overcame the adversity that they were faced with early on?
Yeah, whenever you play a team of that nature, they're going to challenge you. They're going to challenge you in the passing game. And I thought our defensive backs did a great job of accepting the challenge. Statistically, he threw for a lot of yards, but again, keeping those guys out of the end zone is the #1 priority. To get 3 interceptions off of him, to keep him off of this rhythm. Completion percentage wasn't very high, and so that's what you want to see. He threw the ball 50 times and only completed 33 of them. So again, for us, that's efficient football, and again, whenever you can take the ball away, that's a plus as well. So we kept them flustered. Our front four did a really good job of making them move off the spot. And again, when we had a chance to make plays, our defensive back did. So happy for those guys because they are a strength of this football team.
2-0 at Pitbull Stadium to start the season. Just talk about how important it is to defend this stadium this early on in the season, especially with what's coming. And how badly would you guys like to play in a game that isn't delayed by lightning for over an hour and a half and play in decent conditions for a change?
Probably have to play it at 10 a.m. for that to be the case. It rains every afternoon in Miami. But again, like I said, our goals to start the season are all still intact. You know, beat all of our natural rivals, that's still intact. Be undefeated at home, that's still intact. You know, so again, we can continue to chase those lofty goals that we set out for ourselves, and that's something that this football team takes pride in. You know, we're building a foundation here, and it takes those small wins, those small victories. So again, we're going to celebrate this victory. You know, we're going to celebrate it with Panther Nation, and you know, we're coming right back next week. You know, try to continue to accomplish those goals and playing at home again and playing in conference. You know, so again, we got to be ready because we got a tough Delaware team that's coming in, full of momentum, and we got to be ready for a dogfight.
Seems like early on, you know, FA was really going with some big explosive plays. Just what you guys see there, and then obviously just what adjustments defensively did you guys make to kind of limit those a little bit?
I mean, it really boils down to just tackling the catch. You know, they don't throw the ball deep down the field a lot. They throw the ball on the perimeter, and if you miss a tackle, it's an explosive. You know, so for us, it was just about settling down and playing with fundamentals. You know, again, tackling high, diving at the ground. You know, just things we hadn't done the first 2 weeks. And so you chalk it up as rival game and uncharacteristic stuff. Halftime, the message wasn't really for the team. For the coaching staff, I was like, look, just go settle them down. Like, we didn't talk about adjustments. We didn't go settle the boys down. And I sat in the locker room by myself and made whatever adjustments I thought I needed to make. And but again, it's just about getting them to play within themselves. And I think when you play in these type of games, that's always a challenge. You talk about it all week. You showing videos. Every speech is about playing within your emotions. And game starts and everything goes haywire. You know, but it's an emotional game, and that typically happens. So glad they were able to settle down. And once we did second half, we played really good football.
Two more questions for Coach.
You touched on it before, but KJ having a tremendous second half really opened up the run game there. How was he able to accomplish that? What was the difference between the first and second half for him?
Yeah, I mean, it takes all the level in the run game. So, you know, it starts with great communication up front. They were jumping in and out of about 3 down and 4 down front, so communicating our IDs, our double teams. We're trying to get 2 bodies on the defender as much as we can. And if we can do that, KJ's shown that he's got great vision, great balance, great acceleration through the hole, and he can rip off those long runs. And so second half, we settled down. Snaps were a little erratic the first half, and so we had to get that part controlled because obviously everything starts with quarterback center exchange. And so once we communicated, once we got on those double teams and gave KJ some room, he showed the big playability that he has. You know, and so again, he's our staple. We're gonna ride him until his wheels fall off, and those other 2 guys are more than capable of toting the mail as well. So, but that's the identity that we're creating, that we can run the football, that we're a physical football team, which is kind of atypical, you know, for a South Florida football team. But that's going to be who we are. We're going to be a physical, hard-nosed football team that can run the football and keep our defense off the field. When they're fresh, they can play with anybody.
What's your message to Panther Nation? Two wins at Pitbull Stadium, both times having to weather the storm, but still great turnouts through it all. Just what do you need them to know as the season rolls on here?
We told you. We told you this on December 7th. It's a new era. This should be the expectation. Is that, you know, this football team is going to play electric. It's going to be exciting, and you don't want to miss out on this. You know, you want to get behind these guys. And you know, undefeated at home. I want to make Pitbull Stadium one of the toughest places in Conference USA to play, and obviously that means we need great turnout. And I give the fans credit. 2 weeks in a row, inclement weather, they showed up again, and they got behind this football team. So spread the word. There's some good things going on down here in the 305, and next Saturday we need to see a packed stadium as we begin conference play.